Hi, I'm Lindsay,
And I'm Connor.
and I promise this is interesting.
Oh boy, it's been a couple weeks since we've done one of these.
It has. It's been a little while. We're still figuring out our schedule as we move through this thing called life, which has
Yeah.
been very busy recently.
Yes, I know I'm in the process of moving apartments, and it's a lot. I guess moving out of my apartment and into your apartment.
Right.
Even though we're not moving in together,
No.
I'm staying with you for a little while.
For a little while.
Yeah,
And that's been very stressful.
it
It's
has.
also the holidays, so everybody's trying to push and push and push and get
It
everything
is.
done before Thanksgiving. Because once Thanksgiving hits, no one is doing anything.
No, I also had food poisoning this week.
That was fun. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really exciting.
But we
Yeah, I'm glad that happened before you moved in with me,
yeah.
to be honest. If I can be
Same.
selfish, that's
Same.
really great for me.
Well, and then you and I are working on set at the end of this week.
That's right. We'll
I
be
know.
on set for 4 days.
I know, which is
so
why we're shooting this today.
bless us, everybody.
But it should be a good one.
Well, Connor, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to see what topic you've picked today.
Yeah.
You seem pretty pumped on it. And you seem more pumped that you have less pages than general.
This is only 7 pages, folks.
That's great.
I keep saying I'm going to do it. And here we are with a shorter episode today.
Yeah.
Connor,
Tell me.
you know 9 times out of 10, I am rooting for the outlaw.
You are. You tend to root for the outlaw greatly.
And I'll tell you this, we are not bucking that trend today. Today, I'm going to tell you everything all about an entrepreneur who went up against the big man, McDonald's, the feds, and even Toys R Us. Today, we are talking about the man, the myth, the GI who fell from the sky, Jeffrey Manchester, a.k.a. Roofman.
Roofman.
Yes.
Why do I know that moniker?
You have probably seen the neon yellow billboards all over Los Angeles advertising that Channing Tatum movie called Roofman.
Oh, that's right.
It's
Yes.
based on a real person, Jeffrey Manchester.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, there's way too many ways to spell Jeffrey.
Yeah, we got
to vote on one.
I think when I was a kid, I thought it was just Jeff and whatever, some extra letters. The first time I saw Geof, I was like, that's not right. So tell me, what is the deal with Roofman? I don't know anything about that story.
Yeah. I've been aware of this case for a long time, like since before we even started this podcast.
This case?
Yes. So I knew I wanted to do an episode on him. I just wasn't sure, like timing wise. And it's been very difficult to find legitimate details about him. But now
Okay.
that there's like an official motion picture out, we're getting more details about the real guy. So I figured now is a good
Now,
time.
you said the word case, as in
Yes.
crime? There's crime involved in this?
Oh my God. All of them. All of the crimes that we can joke about.
Okay, great.
So Jeffrey Allen Manchester, which is a good name, I would say, attended high school in Sacramento, just like Lady Bird. And he was born in 1971. I do not have an exact birth date, so I do not have his zodiac sign. I'm really sorry about
Damn,
that.
okay.
You know, Connor's a very good horoscope reader. He's really
Am I,
into it.
am, I,
Yeah.
am I, I'm the one that does the horoscope
Yeah,
readings?
he's really into it. So I'm sorry that I can't give that to you today. After high school, he joined the military, serving in the 82nd Airborne Division, which is a legendary branch of the U.S. Army and the first rabbit hole I went down on this.
Oh boy. Okay,
So
what do you have about
Let's talk
that?
about the 82nd Airborne Division. Real quick. We're just a real quick tangent into U.S. military history.
Sure.
The 82nd Division was formed in 1917, towards the end of the First World War.
Oh, wow.
Now, if you're new here, the First World War is my all-time favorite historical event.
It is. You love that war.
Well, that's a weird way to say that.
But it's your favorite war to study and
It
look
is my
into.
favorite. All Quiet on the Western Front is my favorite book. Both movies are great. I think you
Right.
should watch both of them tonight as a double feature. Not that there's not enough negativity going on in the world,
Yeah.
but you should watch the saddest movie ever made 2 times. But yes, so 82nd Airborne Division. Original enlisted men were pretty much all transferred out to other divisions to fill shortages.
Okay.
So replacements started pouring in, and by the spring of 1918, the 82nd Airborne Division had soldiers from all 48 continental states.
Oh wow. Is
that interesting?
It was like a multicultural, multilingual,
Entirely, yeah. So
Calico division.
Major General Eben Swift nicknamed the division All-American to reflect that. And that is like ringing a bell somewhere in the back of my head. I know I've heard the term the All-American Division before. So I'm
Yeah.
sure this has popped up in some textbook.
I mean,
a
I've
long
only
time
heard
ago.
that phrase "all-American" in relation to like sports, like like college sports and that kind of thing. Like when my dad played hockey, some of his teammates went on to be All-American athletes. I don't really know what that means, if I'm being totally honest.
In terms of sports, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Somebody who's athletic, can you let me know?
Yeah.
But in terms of this, it's literally because we had one from every single state in the same division.
That's so interesting.
Is that crazy? I could never be in the Army. Do you know why?
Because
Don't be nice.
You told me that you couldn't do a push-up.
Okay. Again, for new people, I did. Listen, I may or may not have tried to join the U.S. military after I graduated from art college in New York. I went down to the Air Force recruitment office in Brooklyn, New York, and I said, you get me somewhere. You let me join right now. I'll fly a plane down to San Antonio. I'll swear in right now. You let me in. And I wanted to do something physical.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be like on a security team or
Right,
like in rescue.
Something
Like
badass.
I wanted to be a paratrooper, like rescuer. You know, the people who like jump out of helicopters and like grab people in dangerous zones and then fly them out. That's what I wanted.
like the Coast Guard.
And I told them that, and they said, "You're a screenwriter, right?" And I said, "Yes," but that doesn't mean that's all I can do.
I've got the spirit.
I have the spirit.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Okay, do a pull up right now," and I couldn't.
They actually asked you to do a pull-up
I
in the
tried to
office?
do a pull up in front of like 12 enlisted men,
Oh, they had fun that day.
and I couldn't do it.
You know, as soon as they left, they were just howling.
Connor, whose side are you on? Me or the U.S. military? You pick right now.
I mean, I'm on their side because they didn't let you enlist.
They did. Okay, here's the thing. They wanted to enlist me. They were thrilled that I wanted to enlist.
sure.
It's the military. They're
Yeah.
open doors, you know?
Yeah.
But they wanted me to enlist. They just wanted me to be like in intelligence. And I was like, I don't want to live in New Mexico. I am not here to go to Arizona. And they were like, well, that's where you're going.
I've heard the intelligence positions are pretty primo. I had a friend
I'm sure they are.
from Texas who worked in intelligence, and he was stationed in Hawaii.
Intelligence is
Like-
what they make all the cool movies about, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's all intelligence.
That's
but I
the
don't.
Jason Bourne stuff.
They weren't
yeah.
going to make me a spy.
No.
I'm too loud for that. I'd tell everybody, and they know that.
You don't
So.
have a great poker face, I'll be honest.
I don't. You can tell that I
yeah.
don't like you. So if I'm here to take care of business and I'm just mean mugging you the whole time, I don't know
Right.
how well I hold up under pressure.
Right. Well, and it's like the James Bond thing. If somebody insults you at the poker table, you're not going to go, You're going to go, what does that mean?
Say it again. Louder.
And now you have a gun as well. Like, come on.
I know. Okay, you're being rude. All right, we're going to move on. The real reason is because I don't understand what the hell this sentence means.
Oh boy.
The bulk of the division was 2 infantry brigades, each commanding 2 regiments. The 163rd Brigade commanded the 325th Infantry Regiment and the 326th Infantry Regiment, along with the 320th Machine Gun Battalion. What are we talking about? Whose side am I on? Where are we going?
So all those words, regiment, battalion, those are different measures of men. So battalion and regiment would have different amounts of men or contain certain things. It goes back to how the Romans organized their military, to where like a legion contained multiple legionnaires or legionaries. Like a legionnaire made up of, whatever. I don't know all of them. but
We have to
that's
do math in the military.
Yeah, that's the basic idea. So like a squad, I believe, is 4 dudes. And then multiple squads make a battalion, I think.
I wouldn't have saved anybody. I don't have a good sense of direction. What the hell is a battalion? What's the machine gun regiment? I'm also terrified of helicopters. It wouldn't have worked out, all right? But I thought for a second maybe it would. Anyway, all of that to say is that the All-American Division served on the Western Front, then later at Normandy and at the Battle of the Bulge in World War II.
Well, so they were in the ship.
There is a long list of members who have their own dedicated Wikipedia pages, and all of this matters because this is where Jeffrey Manchester served. That is how good he is.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So Jeff is in the Army, where he learns how to repel, handle weapons, and marry young. He is 20 years old when he marries for the first time, and almost immediately they start having kids. Can you imagine having an 8-year-old right now?
I'm 30 years old. No.
8-year-old little Jimmy Jim
No.
sitting right there.
Absolutely
I'm
not.
hungry. I need to go to the park. Dad, where's my nightlight? Where's my gun?
My dad had me at 25.
How?
And I remember being 25 and being like, I can't imagine being in a hospital watching someone give birth.
Holding your son right now.
Holding my
You'd
son.
be holding your 3-year-old toddler right now.
I know.
We should not be able to do whatever we want.
No.
I think we have too much freedom. I do. The two divorced in 1999,
Okay.
1 year after the robberies began.
The robberies.
Connor, have you ever been to a McDonald's?
You need to calm down. You're playing too many
You
games.
tell me if you've been to McDonald's or not.
I've been to McDonald's.
Oh, so you've been to the scene of the crimes.
What was he doing at McDonald's?
In 1998, Jeff took to robbing fast food joints, mostly McDonald's, likely because he worked there at some point in his past, pre army, I guess.
Okay, sorry, my brain got mixed up. He wasn't in World War II. He was in the battalion that.
He was born in 1971.
Yeah.
He missed World War II by a few years.
Gotcha. We went on that tangent on like.
It was a tangent.
Yeah, it's okay.
He was born in 71. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So in the 90s, he's in his 20s when he's doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, at some point he worked at McDonald's before he was in the army, and so became very familiar with their security procedures, or really like their lack of security procedures. So he wouldn't come busting in through the front door like an outlaw on the western frontier, guns a-blazing. Oh, nay, nay, if I can steal something from Bailey Sarian. He entered through the roof, hacking out a hole with a saw or an axe on a couple of occasions, and dropping in like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Now, that already sets Jeff apart. Attention to detail and impressive athleticism are not necessarily mainstays in fast food holdups, but that's not the only special thing. Jeff was also reportedly incredibly polite to the workers.
Is that right?
Yes. So his modus operandi was to like come in super late at night after closing, cut the hole in the roof, paratrooper in, and then lock himself in like a back room, storage shed, or like a bathroom, and hide there until he heard the employees come in and start opening up for the day. And then he'd come out with a gun and say, guys, can you please get in the freezer? I'm sorry about this. I don't want to scare you. Can you get in the freezer? He would even tell them like, hey, grab your coats. It's going to be uncomfortable. I'm really sorry about this, but hey, at least you get the day off.
Right.
Like that's how calm and kind he was. He really wasn't like, there were no guns a-blazing. Like he wasn't holding the place up like, put the money in the bag, bitch. Like he was just, hey, sorry about this, but I got to take the money.
a gentleman sleuth. Yeah.
Yeah. So then he would rob it. He'd rob the McDonald's and he'd take all the money out of the cash register, which is usually like $1,000. This was in the 90s, early 2000s, so people were still paying with cash relatively frequently. And then he would leave, and when he was on the road, he would call the cops and say, hey, the McDonald's across the street just got robbed, and there are some people stuck in the freezer. Please let them out ASAP. So they wouldn't have to be in there too long.
Wow.
He's incredibly polite.
What a kind dude.
I know.
Can I interrupt you?
Yes.
Because this is so funny. So I'm from Myrtle Beach, as you know. Myrtle Beach is known for having a lot of breakfast restaurants.
Yes.
A lot of seniors that live in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah. So they're not awake for dinner.
There's something seniors love.
Yeah. Sorry, Grandma.
It's a 55 and up breakfast special, early bird special, the golden pancake.
Yeah. Oh, I do too. Those specials are great.
They're great.
If I could pass for 55, I'm on it.
I want to say the year after COVID, so 2021, there was a string of robberies of breakfast spots with this exact same thing, where somebody would cut a hole in the roof next to the HVAC system, the big like AC on top of the roof, go in, crack the place, take all, because those breakfast spots are all cash because it's old people. Anybody who's above the age of 65 is still paying with cash at those spots.
Yeah.
And they leave it in the register. Then they'd rappel back up and disappear into the night. And they did it like 20 times and they never got caught.
That might have been Jeff.
That's
because he didn't
so
just do McDonald's.
funny.
He also did Blockbuster Video. He did grocery stores. He probably did a couple restaurants.
Right.
He was eventually, actually, I don't want to give anything away.
Right.
But we probably don't know exactly how many robberies he committed.
I mean, this would have only been 4 years ago. Was that still within the timetable?
No, that's past his time.
So
it's a copycat.
It's a copycat.
Yeah, somebody read that. Yeah, and they were like, I know what I'm doing.
I had a buddy whose family owned one of the breakfast spots, and he's like, he called me one night because we're bored during COVID, and he called me. He's like, hey, do you want to stake out my parents' restaurant, make sure it doesn't get broken into?
I would love nothing more.
And we sat in his minivan with coffee and just shot the shit for a couple hours, and nobody came and stole.
Okay, on a totally not joking matter, I am made for that job.
I know.
How can I stake a place out? I don't want to be a cop. That's not my life.
Right.
But how can I be a professional staker outer?
I mean, I think it's just a PI. I think that's what a lot of PIs do.
But that's also a lot of technical work that I'm not qualified to do. So can they just hire me out to sit up all night and drink coffee in the car and listen to smooth jazz while I watch a house?
You're perfectly built for that job.
I'm perfectly built for that, which is not saying much, but I would be an amazing staker outer. So Jeff rarely actually used his gun, although he was always armed. Mike Van Winkle, a spokesperson for the California Department of Justice, said, quote, many of those he's robbed have been struck by what a nice, decent guy he seems to be. A real gentleman, end quote.
That's so funny.
Van Winkle also said, it's human nature that when you find something that works, you continue to do it. He knows that unlike banks, where you often encounter silent alarms, video cameras, and armed security guards, that's not the case with fast food places. His victims are also usually teens he knows aren't going to risk their life over a few $1,000s and a job serving up hamburgers, end quote. Which is a really good point.
It is.
Like, he's not picking McDonald's because that's where all the money is. That's not where the money is. He's getting like $1,000 a hit, which is sounds okay, but like he would case the place out for weeks to figure out like the rhythm of operation, like when it actually opens, who comes in, who's kind of slacking on the job, who's like a little bit more diligent, like staking out the roof. There were a couple of robberies that actually didn't pan out. Like the cops showed up before he could actually finish cutting the hole, and they found like his equipment, and they were like, someone was trying to cut the roof open. So like, but yeah. Oh, he also didn't just stick to California. He was hitting locations from coast to coast: Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nevada, North Carolina, Oregon, Virginia. He was using his military assignments as an opportunity to hit up new places.
He was doing this while he was in the military?
Yes, he was in the reserves.
Oh my God.
At this time.
That's amazing.
And that's how he was able to just keep jumping around. And how he was able to thwart police, because you got to think, like, it's very difficult for police to figure out when a crime is being committed by the same person.
Yeah.
Even when it's this unique. There are not a lot of robbers in 1998 cutting holes into McDonald's and stealing all the money and being super polite while he does it. Like, there's one guy doing that.
Yeah.
But all these states are having to talk to each other. And that's very difficult. That's a lot of paperwork.
No, that's the thing. Cross-department communication is notoriously difficult when it comes to states.
Oh my God, even within the same city, having dealt with my own legal troubles here, like having to communicate with North Hollywood police and then like Los Angeles police and Burbank police, everything gets lost. Well, I mean, you really may as well.
And then they
just
try
give
to
up.
get like one of the departments, like the DMV or the parking bureau, and it's like,
and forget it.
And there's 6 layers of bureaucracy down.
You got to give up. Yeah.
I know it's kind of crazy. Like, I always think with stuff like this, how long does it take them? Kind of like serial killers. Like, how long does it take them before they go, oh, it's the same guy. We've got a repeat dude here.
They figured it out pretty early on because his whole spiel, this lasted about 2 years, from 98 to 2000.
Okay.
But it was really difficult to catch him because as soon as North Carolina caught up to the fact that, like, oh, we have a string of robberies, but I'm hearing news from Sacramento that it's happening there. It's also happening in Maryland. So we don't know where he's going to hit next.
Right.
They couldn't find the pattern.
Right. You can't really plan for it.
No, exactly. So from coast to coast, he committed an estimated 38 robberies. If you look online, you'll see this number a lot, 40 to 60, but I think the official number is 38. That's just the amount that I think we have confirmed were him. There were probably other robberies that we just can't confirm he committed.
I mean, based on the fact that somebody 4 years ago was cutting into roofs, I feel like this is a viable strategy that some thieves just do.
Now it is.
I mean, we talked about the Louvre heist recently, just together.
Yes.
I looked into it. Surprisingly, so simple what they did. They just climbed up a ladder and cut a lock off a door.
Yeah.
And then walked in and took
there
the
go
thing.
the jewels.
Yeah. Like,
that's it.
That's all they did.
I feel like they just visited and they were like, that probably goes for a pretty penny. I wonder, like, but it's probably really difficult to get. They probably have lasers and stuff. No. Just one guy asleep at a gate.
Right. The smart thing I thought they did was allegedly the crane that they stole. Someone was trying to rent that crane from the company that owned it. And on the day of the rental pickup, someone showed up with a gun and robbed them. So they think that the robbers probably planned the rental and then showed up and just stole it.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because they're probably going to be able to track it down.
Maybe, unless they gave them all false information, right? You never know. That picture of the French detective who's on the case with his like umbrella. And
he's not the detective, by the way.
He's not.
He's just a pedestrian who dressed like that. He's just a man who's like, what's happening at the Louvre?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And Reddit picked it up and just went crazy with it.
Because what an amazing photo.
Exactly.
Amazing piece of news coming out of France. Thank you, France.
Seriously.
So the victims also seemed incapable of accurately describing him because this description was posted in the LA Times.
Oh, boy.
Police describe him as 18 to 30 years old. That's everyone. And between 5'7" and 6'3". That's everyone. That's every man. Okay, great. With an extremely athletic build.
Okay.
Full lips, incorrect, and a pronounced Adam's apple. He may work with an accomplice. He did not. This man does not look like that. Like, What? This is why they say witness testimony is basically useless.
I know. When my dad was practicing law, that's what he talked about. He's like, witnesses are the worst.
They're the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, I got, this is not funny, but I got hit by a car a couple of years ago when I was crossing the street. I had the little white walking man, and some woman pulled out and made an illegal left-hand turn and hit me going about 30 miles an hour. And I did a little flippity-doo. I crunched against the windshield, as the hospital staff so beautifully put it later. Got brought to the trauma center. It was huge. Literally, the saying, I feel like I got hit by a truck is so apt. That is every part of my body hurt so much.
Oh, the next day when you wake up after that, it's my car accident, same thing.
Unbelievable pain.
Next day I was like, how am I in this much
How
pain?
am I alive? So I get there, and they don't know what's happened. They don't know what's broken. They're like, you could have internal bleeding. Your head could be exploding. We don't know. So they just gave me fentanyl without telling me that that's what they were giving me. And 2 cops show up to interrogate me, and I'm on fentanyl. And I just got hit by a car. And some man just cut my bra off, so my titties are flipping and flapping in the wind. And these 2 cops come in, and they're like, did you see the kind of car that hit you? And I go, yes, it was silver with lights like angry animal eyes.
You remember saying this?
I said this. And I saw the way they were looking at me, and I said, I'm sorry, they just gave me fentanyl. So you probably can't use this. They were like, did you see if it was a man or a woman hitting you? And I was like, I saw glass and metal.
Yeah.
That's what hit me.
Jeez, man.
So yeah, witness testimony, not useful.
Yeah, doesn't do too well.
Now, looking back, it seems rather obvious who was committing these crimes because he's casing the place out, dropping in from the roof, moving all over the country undetected, is slim with an athletic build. Obviously, he's military.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
If not current military, then military trained.
Then exactly. Yeah. So it feels a little bit like the Unabomber, how like the feds were just scratching their heads, like drawing red thread between a million headshots, like where could he be? And then it came out that it was Ted Kaczynski, and it's like, yeah, oh yeah, the guy who hand built his own cabin out in the Montana woods and writes manifestos all day. That's probably the guy, obviously. What was the mystery? You know, but hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, all good things come to an end. In May 2000, Jeff was apprehended in North Carolina, your home state. Oh, no, you're from South Carolina.
I'm from South Carolina.
What am I talking about? I don't even know who you are. But he was apprehended in North Carolina after he held up 2 McDonald's locations in the same day. He got a little too big for his britches.
Getting greedy.
He did. He gets a little bold. This is a thing with Jeffrey Manchester, is he gets comfortable and he gets a little loosey-goosey. An employee at the second location triggered a hidden panic button.
A panic button at a McDonald's?
I don't know. Maybe it's really fancy. Maybe it's one of those like new wooden ones. You know, they don't have a play place. It's more corporate. And authorities descended like flies on a McDouble. Jeffrey was reportedly very upfront and cooperative, confessing to his crimes almost immediately.
Lawyer up. What are you doing?
I don't know. One North Carolina detective said, he came to the wrong place when he came to Belmont, end quote. And I'm like,
Belmont? Come on.
These cops... detectives.
I've driven past Belmont, okay?
Belmont, North Carolina.
Yeah.
We don't mess with Belmont, North Carolina. It doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, does it?
Belmont's a lovely place.
Now, because he had committed so many robberies across so many states, there was a possibility of a federal charge.
Yes.
For some reason, he was only formally charged for the final 2 robberies in North Carolina and sentenced to 32 to 45 years in state prison.
What? Is it because he had a gun? Like, what was the...
So that sounds crazy to me, but this is how it happened. According to state officials, he was not only on trial for robbery, but for a weapons charge and kidnapping.
Yeah.
They were charging him for every employee that he locked in the freezer.
Yeah.
That was one charge of kidnapping. So probably 14 counts of kidnapping. And that's why that number is so high.
Yeah.
But, so here's the thing. Originally, North Carolina officials offered him a plea deal that would allow him to serve between 15 and 22 years in California, where he would be closer to his family. Because remember, his ex-wife and his children still live out in California, and presumably, like, also his mom and dad and
and
all
they
his friends.
And they don't know about any of this.
No. Can you imagine?
He's serving in
Can you
the
imagine
reserves.
being his mom, getting the call, being like, what? My son did what?
Hey, Mom, I got locked up today. Oh, what happened? You get into a fight? No, I'm the guy who's been robbing the McDonald's.
I'm Roofman.
Yeah.
Kind of admired the ingenuity, you know? It's not like he's a mass murderer or something.
I feel like if that was your son, you'd be kind of proud of him.
I gotta be honest, I think I would be.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I'd be a little bit like, you know what? You get yours. Sometimes you gotta take what's yours in this world. That's my boy. And he was polite. Come on. He said, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir.
Right.
I'm all right with it. So yeah, they offered him that plea deal. So only 15 to 22 years, and we'll send you back to California so people can actually come visit you. But he rejected that plea because he did not believe that he was guilty of kidnapping, which I think I agree with in this specific case.
By the technical letter of the law, he is. Because he is forcing a person to go somewhere where they have no control on if they can leave. That's like, kidnapping is like a person can't leave by their own volition or by their own like right. You reduce somebody's rights to travel, essentially.
Yes.
So it's technically breaking the law in kidnapping.
I don't think you sentence someone to 45 years in prison on a technicality.
Here's the thing. There are people who have done way worse crimes who have gotten less years.
We're going to talk about that for right now.
Because here's the thing. I'm on this dude's side. Like, he robbed a major corporation and nobody ever got hurt. Like, I don't know.
I don't care.
Give him 5
personally.
years. Let him go.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And he's a veteran. I'm a little bit like, come on.
Right.
Come on.
Because he's going to get discharged. Like,
Right.
yeah.
So the jury convicted Manchester on 7 counts of kidnapping after deliberating for 2 hours on Thursday. So they came back with that verdict like right away. So the thing is, once he confessed, you don't really have a defense. It's like, there's no question whether or not you did it. The only big question is like motive, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's never been a clear motive for this.
Right. Well,
like robbery spree.
I'm guessing the reason they didn't tack on all the other robberies is because they couldn't prove that he did it.
No, he only confessed to the 2 in North Carolina,
Exactly.
I think. Yeah. So he gets sent to Brown Creek Correctional Institution in Polkton, North Carolina. And meanwhile, authorities in California are still pursuing a federal charge, which feels like a hat on a hat a little bit, because a spokesperson for the Sacramento Sheriff's Office said, quote, "There's no sense in us bringing him here when he's going to serve that much time there. The guy will probably never get out of jail," end quote. If convicted on all California charges and given consecutive sentences, Jeff would receive up to 700 years in prison for robbery.
Jesus.
Now, here's the thing. I don't watch so much true crime content anymore, but for years, like in high school, my mom and I, that's all we watched. We were watching Snapped. We were watching women murder their husbands. We were watching the latest and greatest murder spread all over CNN, Nancy Grace. I mean, we watched all of it. I don't watch it so much anymore because it gets to be way too much for me. I found myself getting really overwhelmed and like very suspicious of people, and I didn't like that. So I don't watch it so much anymore. But that is something... This whole question of like 45 years for robbery doesn't sound right to me, brought up a lot of memories from old cases. And so I would like to just give some people some quick comparisons real quick. So we're going to get very serious here for a second. Okay. Number 1, let's talk about David Frediani, who broke into Helena Greenwood's home and SA'd her for hours until she eventually convinced him to let her go. He was arrested and facing a 20-year sentence for that, but made bail. And he went back to Helena's house and murdered her 3 weeks before that trial was meant to take place.
Oh my God.
Or we could talk about Taco Nash, who shot his pregnant girlfriend, but quickly got out of jail for unknown reasons. And a couple years later, he shot her again, this time killing her right outside of her son's daycare center while she held their son. Taco had a protective order against him and was wearing an ankle monitor at the time of the murder, but no one responsible for tracking him intervened.
Jesus.
Or we could talk about Donald Smith, who was a known sexual predator and pedophile with a long criminal rap sheet. He was released from jail 3 weeks before he kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered Cherish Periwinkle, who was 8 years old at the time. If you are a consumer of true crime content, you hear this all the time. Oh, he just got out of prison for assault. He had a long criminal rap sheet, and then he started murdering people. And then he started kidnapping children. It happens all the time. So a 45-year sentence for stealing $100,000 total from McDonald's doesn't hold up to me. It just doesn't hold up.
And that's like every state has different laws, but the fact that they're universally trying to bury him for robbery seems a little wild.
It's pretty extreme.
Again, my feeling is like getting someone on a technicality is the worst way to get somebody, right?
I think it's completely unnecessary.
And it feels like that's what they're kind of doing. It's like, well, it's an armed robbery of a McDonald's of amounting to an amount that's grand theft. So it's armed grand theft and you kidnap those people. It's like all of those things are technically true, which is the worst way for those things to be true. The truth of it is he got in, was very polite. Nobody ever got hurt. And he called the police to let them know, hey, there's people trapped in there. I don't want them to get hurt. Let them out. I just want the money.
Like, this is why due process is so important and why the whole trial process is so important, because you can have things like hurting people is illegal. Okay, great. But then every trial is so specific.
Yeah.
It's like, is this specific thing illegal in this specific circumstance? That is what we have to do. It's like all about interpreting the law. The law is very broad.
Yeah.
It's like you cannot speed. But if your wife is in the car next to you or in the seat next to you giving birth and you're speeding to the hospital, I think there's a little wiggle room there.
Right.
I think there ought to be.
There should be. I know. Well, that's the thing. Part of the U.S. system, it's like we like wiggle room. Wiggle room actually does help people, but it also allows people, like you just listed, to get out.
Yes,
right?
So I don't understand why we seem to give wiggle room to actually violent, dangerous people,
right,
and no wiggle room to a guy with zero criminal rap sheet, zero violent crime. I don't understand. I actually think he had one domestic disturbance on his criminal record before for a loud argument he may have had. I couldn't verify this, so this is a big question mark.
Which explains the ex-wife. Yeah.
Ex-wife. I mean, so maybe something went down there.
Sure.
I don't know what was going on. But yeah. Anyway, let's lighten the mood and talk about the jailbreak. Jeff was in state prison for 4 years and was reportedly a model prisoner.
And this is in North Carolina.
Yeah, we're talking 0 infractions.
Wow.
Very impressive.
Good for him.
This earned him access to the prison's metal shop. Now, I started researching why prisons have metal shops and was lied to immediately, so that's a rabbit hole for another day. But if that just sent a question flag up into your head, it sent one up in my head.
I mean, I assume license plate manufacturing, but...
You know what answer I got?
What answer did you get?
I got the answer. Oh, it's supposed to help them. It teaches prisoners a job. It gives them a job so that when they get out, they have something that they know how to do. And I'm like, that's not how we run prisons here. Don't lie to me.
Prisoners, it is true that prisoners can work to get time off of their sentence, or they can take classes.
Here's my thing.
But
you're in prison and you make a bunch of license plates, or it said furniture. You can make furniture in a metal shop. Great. Where's the money go? I'm assuming not to the communities that these prisoners hurt.
Nope, and not to the prisoners.
So who's getting rich off the metal furniture made in prison?
Yep.
Rabbit hole for a different day.
Yep, we won't even touch it.
I got so mad and immediately had to leave. But while working in one of these metal shops, Jeff noticed when trucks would load up and when they would load out.
God, he's a planner. He loves looking
a plan.
Planning. Yeah.
I know. Get this guy a spy job.
I mean, it makes sense why he was working for the army.
I know. Doesn't he remind you of Catch Me If You Can?
A little bit, yeah.
I think he needs to be working for the feds. He could catch some actually bad people.
Right. He could prevent other roofers from breaking into McDonald's.
He made a platform out of plywood and spray painted it black.
Okay.
To that I say, what exactly did the prison guards assume he was making?
Because they're watching
were they just smoking cigarettes? Just yeah, that's Jeff. He's got his art project. He's just spray painting a piece of plywood black, the same shade of black as all the trucks. Okay, interesting. So on June 15th, 2004, he hid in an outgoing truck's undercarriage using the plywood platform to conceal himself. So he climbed up under the truck and then held the plywood to himself so that it just looked like a flat...
Oh, right, because they have little mirrors they look under the truck
Yes, to make sure that nobody's underneath there.
Wow, that's crazy. That's some Shawshank Redemption stuff.
I know. That's where my head went to. We watched too many movies. And so when that truck pulled out, Jeffrey Manchester was free, making him the first escapee since the prison opened in 1992.
Wow.
Upon hearing the news, Pleasant Hill Police Sergeant Jose De La Torre said, "You have got to be kidding me." And police scramble, assuming Jeff is headed for California where his family is located. But that's not true. He never left the state of North Carolina.
Is that right? Okay.
So at some point, Jeff wiggled himself out of the undercarriage of the truck and hitchhiked the rest of the way to Charlotte. Now, another question. He couldn't make himself new clothes in the metal shop.
Correct.
Assuming he's not dressed like the Tin Man.
Yeah.
So he's in prison garb, hitchhiking on the side of the street.
I mean, I don't know what prison uniforms used to look like back in the early 2000s, late 90s. Maybe they look a little different.
Probably like Shawshank Redemption. I think they're like blue jumpsuits. I mean, they have those signs by prisons that say, "Don't pick up hitchhikers." Right. What? It was probably some woman like me who's like, "Yeah, he's just got a bad break. I'm going to give him a ride." So he hitchhikes to Charlotte.
Okay.
Once he gets to Charlotte, he moves into a Toys R Us.
hold on, pause, because you're going through a lot of facts, and there's things I feel like we need to dig into. So I'm going to dig into this one.
What do you want to dig into?
Now you use the term moved into,
Yes.
and then you said Toys R Us.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, he went into a Toys R Us. I don't know why he picked. So he had robbed a couple of Toys R Us's before.
Okay.
So I think the thought was like, oh, I'll just go back to robbing.
Sure.
I'll get some money and I'll just kind of live on the road and just like rob big shops here and there, whatever. So he goes into a Toys R Us, and the way that this one was built, they had like a bike rack situated against a wall, and he was able to set up like a little hiding hole, so he was concealed, so you couldn't see him through the bike rack, but it was like he was kind of in the wall. It's hard to describe. I'll throw up some pictures if I can. But yeah, that's where he was living. And next door to the Toys R Us was an abandoned Circuit City. Oh. So there was nobody on the other side of that wall. Right. And that's going to become important in a second.
That's so interesting. Gosh, he's like a crafty little gnome.
He's
like a little pixie, a little Irish fairy. There you go.
We could name him Jeff. We could name him Jeffrey Manchester if you want.
For anybody that doesn't know, we have this little ceramic gnome that we put into a different place in every episode. We love having him.
Yeah.
Let's name him Jeff in honor of Roofman.
All right. I love gnomes. I love him. Love him back there. So during the day, he would hide out in the back rooms, and when the employees would leave for the night, he would ride bicycles up and down the aisles for exercise. He would play with remote-controlled cars, and he would sustain himself on baby food. It's like riding out the apocalypse in a Walmart supercenter.
It really is.
He's got everything he needs. Now, when the holidays rolled around and Toys R Us got really busy, Jeff's like little back room or bicycle rack room situation wasn't going to work anymore. So he moved into that abandoned Circuit City.
Okay.
It's unclear like exactly how he did this. We don't have photos, unfortunately, of like the exact like little hole that he made for himself. But I'm assuming that like it was underneath a stairwell or something in that abandoned Circuit City, and he was able to access the Toys R Us.
Interesting.
Somehow.
They probably shared like a storage room or something.
Yeah, and with his propensity for digging holes, I mean, he probably just dug his way in. You know, like
he's handy with an angle grinder.
Yeah, so he didn't just move into a room and like sleep in a concrete hole. Oh no. He set up a bed with Spider-Man sheets. He hung up a few posters.
Nice.
And his stack of DVDs included Matchstick Men, 40 Days and 40 Nights, and Spider-Man 2.
With Tobey Maguire.
That makes me so emotional.
This man's just really enjoying it.
Who is he hurting? I just have to ask, like, is there any world in which we just let him do it?
The question I have is like, why did you turn into this?
I'm so curious.
You know what I mean? Like, because you've got so much that seems so positive. Like, you've got a lot of useful things. You had a job with the Army, which jobs with the Army aren't great. You know, they pay you, but
it's some job stability.
Some jobs, absolutely. So it's like, what? Like, I'm kind of convinced that like if you asked him straight up, like, why'd you do this? Like, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to. Like, I feel like that would be his answer.
That feels like the vibe after reading all these articles and everything. I'm just like, I think he just liked breaking the rules. I think he just liked being off the grid and having enough money to like go out to eat and
being kind of desperado.
Just off doing his own thing.
Sure.
Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. The thing is, I'm not far from this. I'm really not. If things went a certain way, I would probably be doing this, to be very honest.
You think so?
I'm only, I can't act like I'm above this. I
would love to see you try to rappel up and down a McDonald's roof.
Okay, listen. Once again, would it be like this? No. I think I'd just hide. I'm a good hider. I always want hide.
You can fit into small spaces.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm clever with my hiding spaces. But I would if if I got frustrated enough. It's either this or Ted Kaczynski. So that's up to the public. And because you never really leave the military, Jeff also installed a smoke detector and a fire extinguisher just to be safe.
Seriously?
Yeah. Just because we're breaking the law doesn't mean we have to be dangerous.
He kept it up to code.
Yeah, he did.
That's so funny.
He did. That being said, moving into the Toys R Us was not completely random. He did want to rob the place. That's why he picked this place.
Oh, interesting.
So he placed baby monitors around the store to track employees, like get the rhythm of the place sorted out. Like, when do people show up? Who's working? Who seems like they'd be easier to rob than others?
Sure.
Like, I think Well, okay, between the two of us, who do you think would be easier to rob? That's a tough one, isn't it?
It is, because I am a man who is 6 foot tall.
And very strong and fast. Connor is surprisingly fast.
I'm not super strong, but
because you're very calm
Yeah.
and cool and collected, I think people would underestimate you and try to rob you and then be very caught off guard.
see, I was feeling the opposite. I feel like because I am a 6 foot tall man, people just wouldn't try to rob me.
Hopefully not.
You know,
Hopefully not.
but I feel like if somebody tried to rob me, I would just go, "Oh yeah, here, have my wallet. I don't care." Like, what are you gonna shoot me for a wallet? What am I? How stupid am I to
Do
get
you see what I'm
shot
talking
over my
about?
wallet?
Do all of you see what I'm dealing with over here? This is as angry as he gets. He's literally being held up. Give me your wallet. All right.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You want my watch? Like, I don't. I'm gonna get shot
Are you
over
sweetening
this.
the deal over here? Yeah.
How would you handle a robbery?
I'd be pretty pissed.
Okay, but you would still give them your stuff.
It depends. Are they holding a gun or a knife?
They've got a gun.
Gun, then yeah, I think
Yeah.
you just got to hand the stuff over.
Yeah, you do.
If it's a knife,
You still have to hand this.
I don't know.
Getting stabbed sucks so bad.
I have no doubt that it sucks. I cut myself with a bread knife a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that sucked. That sucked so bad.
Yeah.
But I have a fury, and if you catch me on an off moment, I might not make the smart decision. So,
As long as we recognize what the smart decision is in that scenario.
just saying. So he's casing the place out for 6 months.
Wow. Okay.
He is living and operating in this Toys R Us.
Now you mentioned Christmas time. Is he waiting for Christmas time, like to hit the place?
That's not clear like he's waiting for Christmas time. I think he's just kind of, probably enjoying being out of prison
Sure.
and like eating baby food instead
After
of prison
4
food.
years,
Yeah,
yeah.
because if you can believe it, baby food is even better than prison food. Wow. And just living his life.
Yeah.
So he's casing the place out, but I don't think he's in a rush. So now Jeff is a smart man. And like all smart animals, they need enrichment. So a couple months after he moved into this Toys R Us, he starts going out during the day and he's getting lunch at Red Lobster. And in October, he started attending church. And at this church, he met a woman named Lee Wainscott. Lee Wainscott was a local mother of 2. She had just ended a 20-year marriage and was juggling work, life, and probably a mouthy kid when Jeff, who was going by the alias John at this point,
Okay.
dropped from the sky like a paratrooper. And according to Lee, Jeff was, quote, the guy that every girl would want. Funny, romantic, the most sensitive man I've ever met, end quote.
This guy sounds like a great package.
I truly couldn't like him more. Like, really, like I'm sure that he's got thorns. Like
Sure.
I'm not saying that he's amazing and he has no potholes. Okay,
Yeah.
Holding people up at gunpoint, even if you don't shoot it, very scary.
Objectively, a wrong thing to do.
Horrible.
like-
Having a gun pointed at you, even if the guy is super nice, dude, it's a gun.
Right.
What if it goes off by accident?
Yeah.
You're gonna kill me for Toys R Us money?
I mean, that's kind of why people shout when they're trying to get something out of you with a gun. Is because a lot of people, when they get a gun pointed at them, they freeze.
Yeah.
And the only thing that gets to them is being shouted at.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, very horrifying.
It
So
is.
I don't want to make light of getting robbed or like working in a place that gets robbed. It is not. It's not fun, and it's very scary. Of all the criminals I've ever heard of in my life, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah.
I just do. So they started dating, Jeff and Lee. And Jeff was taking her to Red Lobster, the hottest place in town, apparently. He really liked Red Lobster. And pretty soon she brought him home to meet her kids. And this must have gone over very well, and he must have won over their hearts right away because he brought gifts from the crash pad. He brought gifts straight from
give
Toys
us
R
a
Us.
Spider-Man set of
Yeah,
Spider-Man
big fan of
sheets.
Spider-Man. He
Yeah.
also hung up like posters of Spider-Man. Big fan. Which makes sense because he's dropping from the ceiling. So these two start spending a lot of time together, and he covers up his suspicious amount of free time and like never bringing her over to his place by saying that he has a high-ranking job with the U.S. government. I think we need to start a board of like times that people are lying to you saying that they work for the government.
Right.
Because we have brought this up like 10 times on this channel by now. I think Belle Gibson brought it up. A few, like everybody in witness protection, or like people who lie about saying that they're in witness protection. All these like catfish online who are like, I can't video chat you because I'm a spy and like I can't have an identity. And it's like they're always lying.
Yeah.
If you work for the government, a super secret job, you don't tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it super secret.
There are very few jobs where you can't bring your significant other over to your house. Like,
Come on.
and I'm guessing you're not going to find that guy at a random city in North Carolina.
I know. Like, come on, Jeff John. So it's not just Lee and her kids that Jeff is winning over. When Christmas rolled around a few months later, he donated more items to the church toy drive than anyone else in the congregation. All I'm seeing is a man who truly lives by the good word. That being said, he did decide to rob the Toys R Us the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
So when the coffers were at their most full.
So he did rob at a holiday season.
He did, yeah.
Which would be like the peak time to do that.
It really was. So,
Yeah.
but it did not go according to plan. So he stole an unknown amount of cash from the register, but was forced to flee after 2 employees slipped out the back and alerted law enforcement.
Oh, interesting.
Police showed up, and after a few days of sniffing around, they found Jeff's hiding spot with $7,000 of stolen toys in the ceiling above his little room.
Oh, wow.
So they also found a fingerprint officially linking Jeff to the scene of this new crime. So just days after the new year, his face is plastered all over the evening news.
Oh, no.
So what does Jeff do?
I don't know. What does he escape to California?
He burns down a dentist's office.
Now, what would cause Jeffrey to do that?
He had gotten work done a few months prior, and he was worried that the police would be able to find him via his dental records.
Ah.
Now, again, Jeff is a very smart man. He should have known that they didn't need his dental records. They had his face.
Yeah.
But he burned down the dentist's office anyway to get rid of those records.
Adding arson to the list of rap sheet stuff is not going to go well.
I think this is alleged. I don't think this has been confirmed. But I think he may have done it.
But a dentist office did burn down.
It did,
that
and he had
go
gone
to.
there. Yeah, he did. So, those records were destroyed, and it did not matter. Churchgoers recognized the mugshot on TV, and they point investigators to Lee, saying, "That's her man. Come get your man, Lee."
Damn, guys, no loyalty.
So police show up at Lee's place of employment and tell her everything. And she is devastated. And she agrees to help them catch him. So, oh my God, this also makes me emotional. Get it together. Get it together. I hate how this story ends.
Oh, no.
So she calls him and invites him over for a supposed 40th birthday party. I think her 40th birthday, because he's not 40 yet. And Jeff is thinking, reportedly, I get to see her one last time before I leave town. Because he knew, like, I can't go back to the Toys R Us. I don't know where he's living. Probably just on the street.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's in a different spot in Circuit City. I don't know. Just in a different room. But he has to leave town. So he's like, oh, this is good. I'll get to see her one more time. So 12 hours after he lit up that dentist's office, he shows up at his girlfriend's house with a bouquet of flowers.
Oh, no.
And he is immediately arrested.
I loved you, Lee. It's okay.
His ultimate blunder, Charlotte Police Sergeant Catherine Scheimreff told the Chronicle, was going back for the girl one last time.
Yeah.
These cops really have a flair for the dramatic. I think they're all true Southerners because these are some real Southern isms. He should have known better than to come to Belmont. Came back for the girl one last time. Classic mistake. Now, Jeff was able to talk with Lee after he was put back in the clinker, and he apparently apologized for everything that he put her and her kids through.
That's nice.
And according to Lee, she's not mad. She's just disappointed. Does that break your heart? That hurts more. That hurts more than fury. Now, SF Gate, which is a news site where I got a lot of this information for this episode, was quick to point out that despite the unusual sweetness in this case and in Jeff, he is not a perfect hero, which is important to point out.
Okay.
Quote, Manchester abandoned his children and joined a new family, which is true. He deceived everyone around him for his own gain, true. And he did pistol whip at least one fast food worker at a robbery in Citrus Heights, not to mention traumatizing countless others he held up at gunpoint.
Yes.
Important to note that.
I know we joke about being on the side of the outlaw.
And I usually am.
Yeah.
We talk about the mob all the time. Generally a big fan of the mob.
Right.
When you start breaking kneecaps with baseball bats, I check out, okay? I check out. Once we get violent, once we start ruining people's day, and then I can't root for you
Once
so
we
much.
start hurting anybody but corporations, that's when I'm like, okay, guys,
Yeah.
tighten it up just a little bit.
I know. Like, you burn down a dentist's office. That's a local dentist.
They work so
You have
hard.
any idea how much money that costs?
So much.
Like, and what if that's my dentist? Like, my dentist that I trust so much that has all my records and they burn down.
Right.
What a hassle and a half. Are
And
you
that's the
kidding?
thing. Like, everything today is so connected. Like, there's no such thing really as like a no victim crime, like a victimless crime. Like,
It's pretty difficult to find a victimless crime.
you know, even taking out, like approving somebody with a loan or wire money fraud, like that kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, insurance fraud is technically
Hurt
not victim.
somebody.
Like, it's somebody
Yeah.
gets hurt.
I know.
You know,
So, I know. Do I like him? Yes. But also, he did deceive his family and abandon his children, I guess, if you want to be
And
cruel and
getting
realistic
pistol
about
whipped sucks so bad.
I know. Well, apparently, I think I read this case. This one fast food worker came out from the top and tried to hit him with a piece of plywood, or did hit him with a piece of plywood, and Jeff pistol whipped him and was like, just get in the freezer. According to Shime Riff, he's a dirtbag. It won't surprise me if he escapes again. He's that crafty. And she's not far off, because Jeff is serving the rest of his sentence at the Central Prison in Raleigh, and he has attempted to escape twice. Once in 2009 and again in 2017.
Oh my God.
Things have been relatively quiet since 2017. He has never provided an explanation for this penchant for robbing or like dropping from the ceiling. Like he's never given a clear motive. So it's not clear why he did this.
It's
and
like
did
habitual.
It the way that he did.
Like
I know.
You just can't help it.
It's kind of like being a klepto.
Right.
Just like, I don't know. It's kind of fun.
Right.
Like, I do see the appeal in being in a store after hours. Like as a kid, I think that was a plot point in Home Alone. Like he slept in the toys department or something. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Sure.
There's something cool and fun and like, ooh, we're breaking the rules kind of thing.
Sure.
When I was in high school, this is as edgy as I got in high school. One time me and my friends were like, let's go over to the old elementary school and like smoke on the ceiling or on the roof. Let's go smoke on the roof. And then we drove there and there was a gate and we were like, we didn't really want to climb the gate. Okay, whatever. And we didn't. And we just went to the gas station and got frozen burritos instead. Like, it's just fun. I don't know. There's something about just being where you're not supposed to be.
I will say, like, I was a pretty good kid in high school. Never stayed out past curfew, and never was running around doing anything wrong. The only thing I ever did wrong, and I don't even know if my parents know about this, I used to do graffiti. I would sneak out at like midnight, 1 a.m.
That's right.
And I used to tag government buildings. And that was my rule. I had rules I had to follow. And one of my rules was like no private property, only government buildings. Because I technically...
Should you be admitting this publicly?
This was years ago.
So is there what's it called?
All of them have been painted over, by the way. all these tags have been painted over. And it wasn't even tags. It was like stencil art. I would do like... I was really inspired by... What was that guy's name? Banksy. I loved Banksy at the time. I was a very edgy 16-year-old. And I thought, this is awesome. I'm making stencils in my room. Actually, this is one of my old tags, this guy. I had stickers made. And I used to go around throwing... This was a wheat paste poster. It was like massive. It was awesome. Anyway, that's the crime I used to commit that is now out of the statute of limitations.
Okay, good. That's the phrase I was looking for, the statute of limitations. Okay, good. So yes, Jeff is expected to be released in 2036 when he is 65 years old. Shortly after his arrest, the last one in North Carolina, Jeff spoke with his mother, and when she asked him about the recapture, he said, "Mom, I kind of lost focus." End quote.
It's always the girl.
And
the girl will get you.
Is Roofman. That's the true story of that Channing Tatum movie, Roofman.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That's so fun. So he'll get out in 2065.
2036.
2036. Jesus, that's even less than I thought. So 2036, that's way less than like the 700 years that they were going to try and charge him for.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to charge him federally. They might, but I feel like once you're 65 and you've served more than half your life in prison.
What's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah. Well, and honestly, part of me imagines like if they had the stuff going to do that while he was serving his first sentence and then he escaped, they probably went, he escaped? All right. Don't worry about it. And then somebody at the office forgot about it. It went in a box in the back of a shelf. And then he got arrested again a year later. And they just didn't pick it back up. More of that like interdepartment, cross-department communication.
Probably. No offense. I feel like California government has a lot more that they ought to be focusing on.
Yeah.
Than putting Roofman behind bars for 700 years.
I would prefer my taxpayer dollars not to go to that place.
Let's just put that on the record. I'd like to deal with the Department of Transportation.
Yeah.
Numero uno, we got to deal with that disaster.
Uh-huh. So I think the Roofman's pretty cool.
Thank you.
And I think him getting out in 2035, it's all right.
I hope you enjoyed this little rabbit hole, Connor.
That was very interesting. Thank you for telling me all about it.
Yes. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Connor.
And I told you this would be interesting.
And we'll be back next week with another episode of one of our many shows that we love to make.
Yes. And I'll see you in 2 seconds, bug.